Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am Kenzie, and this is Kinda Krafty Kenzie, and I am so excited y'all are here. Today's video is amazing, if I do say so myself. I have some super high-end spring farmhouse DIYs for y'all, so let's go. For today's first DIY, I decided to be a carpenter and use some of these paint stir sticks that I actually have gotten in bulk from Amazon. Now you could totally go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or possibly even Walmart and buy these right in the store. But I'm lazy, and Amazon and I are best friends because they send it right to me for pretty much the same price, maybe even a little bit cheaper when you buy in bulk. And I don't even have to go outside to get them because then my mailman brings them right to my porch, and then I send a kid out to go get them. So, I mean, why not use Amazon? Like I said, that's why we're best friends. So anyways, I started to just piece these together. What I'm trying to do is make like a big palette. Now you could totally go ahead and grab some of the little palettes from the Dollar Tree and put them together as well and do this. But I don't have a ton of the little palettes left, and they're very hard to come by these days in my Dollar Trees. So I just went ahead and decided to challenge myself a little bit and just build my own palette. As you can see, that little paint stir stick on the right decided to go a little wonky on me. So I was able to fix it though. All I did was just push him over a little bit as I glued down the rest of the paint stir stick. So anyways, I think that this isn't bad. It's not 100% the same size in between the little palettes. That's what you get when you don't measure, but I really didn't care. I really just wanted to make something cool and rustic looking, and this turned out completely perfect, and that made this DIY so ridiculously inexpensive. As you can see, I just went ahead and gave it a decently sloppy coat of white chalk paint. I only did one coat because I definitely wanted it to just kind of look very heavily whitewashed versus like painted. Plus, I really wasn't planning on sanding it because I was afraid that, it would fall apart. So then I took these little boxes that you can get from Dollar Tree. I get tons and tons of stuff from Dollar Tree, Facebook groups. There's a lot of people on there who like do, swaps, like you can buy and sell, and I can't link them, but if you guys just go on Facebook and type something, and I promise you'll find them. So as you can see, I did remove the twine hangers that were on them, and I did go ahead and fill in the holes with some spackling because I did not want those to show. And then when it was dry, I just sanded the excess off, and then again gave them the same kind of coat of white chalk paint that I gave the big palette. Now I thought I would go ahead and give a little bit of color to these little boxes and add some of that sage green. It's kind of like a greenish blue, but to me it's more green. And I just, as you can see, painted that little middle palette. So, or strip, you got it, of wood. Whoa. Anyways, you guys, I hate when floral foam shows, so I thought that I would just go ahead and paint it white, and then that would kind of camouflage it a little bit because I just don't like to see that floral foam. So then I went ahead and selected where I wanted to place these on my big palette, and then I just kind of staggered them and went ahead and glued them down. Now I did have 4 of these little boxes because originally I thought, oh yeah, 4 would be perfect. If I would have made my palette a little bit bigger, I could have definitely did 4, but I like it just the way it is. And I don't know if you guys have seen my other videos. I tend to do everything in 3s, so this kind of worked out perfect. After I had my little boxes placed, I went ahead and attached a nautical rope from the Dollar Tree to the back of this to give it a little hanger. And then I went ahead and glued down some reindeer moss inside the little boxes to go ahead and cover up the rest of that floral foam. Now, I never glue the flowers in. I only always glue the moss to the floral foam. So you could go ahead and pop the foam out and then, change your greenery as you wish. I went ahead and chose some baby's breath and boxwood from Walmart, cut it up into little spruces, and just simply placed them down in those little boxes. And I think this turned out so nice, super farmhouse, super springy, but let me know what y'all think. You can say I lost my mind. If you are new here today, welcome. My name is Mackenzie, aka Kenzie, and I am so excited that you found my channel and clicked on my video today. I hope you are loving everything you see so far. Crafting and DIYing is my passion, so if that is what you are into, you're in the right place. So don't forget to subscribe and turn your bell notification on. For DIY number 2, I'm going to use one of these leftover signs from the fall. It kind of reminds me of a tag, but obviously I did not want a pumpkin. So I went ahead and popped that metal off of there. You could just totally paint right over it, but I decided that I could use it for something better. So I went ahead and chose one of those little square planks from the Dollar Tree and just I'm going to lay that down over top of it to cover up that pumpkin. As you can see, I painted the sign in white chalk paint, and then that is exactly what I'm going to do with the little plank as well. And then I'm just going to simply glue it down over top of that pumpkin. Not before I go ahead and paint these though. So guys, I made this color chalk paint. Absolutely love it. I used ocean blue, white, and then a little bit of elephant, and just kept mixing until I got it where I liked it. All Waverly chalk paint, you guys, and it turned out gorgeous. I'm obsessed and in love. So as you can see, I'm going to put these on here to like give it like a little bit of an edge. And I marked off where I wanted to cut it, and then I went ahead and used my miter shears to cut it. Miter shears are amazing, and I promise that you don't have to struggle that hard with them. Mine are a little bit sprung. My husband did it. And so I'm just too cheap to buy more. So I'm insisting on just, building my hand strength with, trying to work my miter shears. So as you can see, I heavily distressed this, and I loved it even more. I went around the edges really heavy, and then I did curve off the edges of those paint stir sticks as well. That way they kind of looked, I don't know, they looked round. I just thought they looked a lot prettier than just like squared off. Then I went ahead and glued that little white down, that little white square down, as you can see, and then I used some of my wood super glue to go ahead and glue these down. Now it's kind of comical because in the last DIY I used hot glue and thought it would be efficient, but in this DIY I chose to do the wood super glue, and I even clamped it and let it sit overnight. So it kind of just depends on like my mood on what kind of glue I'm going to use. And I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for what I do. I just do it. That's why I say inside my brain it's always an adventure. So anyways, like I said, I glued these down, and then I did clamp them overnight.
You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down. The sky is falling down.
So after they sat overnight, I went ahead and removed the clamps, and then I was ambushed. You guys met Saint. This is Scout. We have 3 cats. Saint, who is my big white male that was in one of my other videos. He used to ambush me when I would craft in my house. And this is Scout. He is actually the son to my female tuxedo, who looks identical to Scout, Stella. So we have Saint, Stella, and then Scout is a product of Stella. If you guys remember, we had a litter of kittens back in the summer. We had another litter of kittens right before or right after Thanksgiving. It was actually when my entire family had COVID, so that was interesting. She had a litter of 8, but we did lose 2. And anyways, all the kittens have been rehomed, so we're left with Scout, that little guy, and he loves to venture out to my craft shed with me. So as you can see, I did go ahead and tie a jute twine hanger to this with some little knots in the front, and then I just took one of these lamb's ear, I think it's like it's the mini wreath from Hobby Lobby. I have a bunch of these. I always like to stock up on them when they're on sale. And I just went ahead and glued that straight down to the sign. You could totally put a nail in this and then, change out your wreath if you wish. But I knew that this would be totally perfect. It's perfect for all year round, because the colors in the lamb's ear, I think, is Farmhouse and can go all year round. Anyways, then that ribbon came from Hobby Lobby. I just tied a bow and added a little loop over where I tied it together with the jute twine. And this is how this turned out. I think it screams Farmhouse. I think it's springy. I love the color. I'm obsessed. You guys let me know what you think.
Trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we cry.
DIY number 3, I am going to use the medium size photo frame of this little bundle. I got these for $6 at Family Dollar, but I'm pretty sure that they were on sale. My husband actually picked them up for me, and he really never buys me craft stuff. So if he did, it's probably on clearance. So anyways, I went ahead and removed that backing and that glass, And I know the frame is already painted a nice color and it is distressed, but I still went over it with that sage green, one, because of the frame is plastic and you could totally tell that, and two, sage is just a really pretty color and I thought it was more springy, so that is why I did that. Anyways, then I took some of this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby and I cut out a square piece to go ahead and use as the background. I did not cut it to fit that backing, and I did that on purpose because from the front you can't see it, all you see is square. You'll see here in a second. But so as I'm trying to assemble this back together, Scout decides to come back, and I finally gave in and set my project aside for a little bit and gave him some lovin's and some belly rubs because he's just so needy. But anyways, he hung out with me for quite a while this day, but between him, my kids, and our new German Shepherd puppy, Siren, I didn't get a whole lot done in a whole lot of time. So Scout eventually moved up on the back of my chair and he tried to sit on my shoulder, but he is not as little as he thinks he used to be. When he was a baby, he would sit up there like a little parrot, but now he's an oversized big kitty. So yeah, he doesn't fit up there very well. So he ended up knocking a whole bunch of stuff down and then almost burned himself with my hot glue gun, so I did have to kick him out of my craft shed. So he can't, I don't know, he loves to come in there and hang out, but he just can't help himself. He has to be the center of attention. That's just, he's so sweet though. But anyways, then I went ahead and distressed over the sage green with some white chalk paint. And then I did decide to go ahead and print out some vinyl for this. You could totally change up the back and put like a family picture in it, or even like a different background picture. But again, I wanted it to be springy and farmhouse because that's just my style. And so I chose this little saying off of Cricut Design Space, and it shows that it's a whole bunch of different colors, but I chose just to make it one color. So I measured the glass, which a smarter person would have done before it was all assembled, but we're talking about me. And then I just sized it down to where it would fit, and I did weld it so that it would print all one color versus trying to have me change my mat like 11 times to incorporate all the different colors. So I went ahead and weeded this out. Now I chose this really pretty, it's kind of it reminds me of cashew from Waverly chalk paint cashew. I just thought it was really nice and it went really well with that sage green. And then I did go ahead and omit those little flowers and raindrops on there. They are cute. They would have been a lot cuter if I would have kept like the different colors, but they were almost kind of childish for me, especially on this particular project. So don't hate me, I did take them off. And then I just went ahead and transferred this down onto the glass.
Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
To incorporate that color of the vinyl, I decided to take some floral wire and go ahead and string some beads on from Amazon. I will have those linked below. To get that wire to stick better on the back, I just reinforced it with some of that burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And then I went ahead and added this little solo wood flower that matched that vinyl perfectly. And this DIY was really simple, came together so nicely, and I absolutely love the colors. I think they are so complementary to each other. Do not mind the heart, the hearts in the background. I'm still decorated for Valentine's Day over here, but let me know what you all think about this DIY.
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights. Won't stop for traffic lights.
For DIY number 4, I'm going to use one of these wood rounds that I got in a pack from Amazon. This is actually 12 inches, and I got them in a pack of 12. At the Dollar Tree, I know you can get these as well, but they never have them at mine. But when I did the math, I paid $14.99 for 12 of these, and that comes out to $1.24 a piece. So now with Dollar Tree going up to $1.25, that is now 1 cent cheaper than at Dollar Tree. Plus, you don't have to go to the store. Plus, you know that Amazon's gonna have them. They deliver them right to you. So there you go. Just saying. Anyways, they're linked below, you guys. So I painted the bottom half of this wood round in the sage green, and then the top obviously is in white. I did choose to leave that middle strip with like the natural tone, and I think it turned out so pretty. I absolutely love the way it looked. Then I went ahead and just drilled 2 holes for where I'm going to attach my little jute twine hanger. I did decide to string some of my largest size beads on the jute twine to use as a hanger, and like I said before, the beads are from Amazon and they are linked down in my description box. There's like 5 sizes in the pack that I get, so both sizes are in there. They're the 2 larger sizes that I use today. Then I went ahead and attached that little welcome from Hobby Lobby. I left it in its natural tone as well. Then this beautiful eucalyptus is from Joann Fabrics. So I just cut off like 2 stems of it and tied them together with some twine. Did the same thing for the other side and literally just hot glued them right down to where that little jute twine hanger comes through and is knotted off. I was going to cover that anyway, so it just worked out perfectly. Then I went ahead and made a bow out of this really pretty ribbon that I got last year from Hobby Lobby. It was right after Easter sale. It was like an Easter sale, like right after Easter or somewhere around there. But I've ended up using all of this ribbon already, so I'm sad because I really liked it. But anyways, I made a 4-loop bow. It was my first time doing that. It was a little bit difficult because I had to figure out what I was doing, but I made it work in the end, and I don't think it looks too bad. So I did decide to go ahead and glue down those little tails of the bow to kind of help camouflage where I attached the greenery to it and like kind of cover up that ugly spot. Then I decided to make 1 more loop to hide where the jute twine cinches all of the loops together of the bow. So it was kind of turned into a 5-loop bow. So as you can see, I just tied it to itself in the back and didn't pinch the whole thing together like I did to make the other loops. Again, I was totally winging it. I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm sure I'll get better as I practice. I'm trying to kind of like make myself up my DIY skills a little bit by stepping out of my little comfort box and doing stuff I've never done before. So anyways, I just attached that down on top of the bow with some hot glue. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but this is the Kenzie way for now, so there it is. But I absolutely am obsessed with this. I think it is so pretty. All the colors just look amazing together. You guys will totally have to let me know what you think below. But I'm just in love. I cannot even wait to make so many more wood rounds like this. I'm just so excited. But okay, I'll stop talking. You guys enjoy.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground.
For my 5th and final DIY, I am going to go ahead and just use this little box from the Dollar Tree. I went ahead and just kind of whitewash painted it. I definitely am loving a lot of that natural wood tone coming through on a lot of the projects today. I wanted to do something kind of different that I never did before, and I tried to make little faux nails. And as you can see, I just used like the back end of my paintbrush, dipped it in some of the elephant gray chalk paint, and then just gave it like one simple dab onto, like, you know, you see what happens. I think it turned out pretty good. Then I'm going to recycle this Easter tag from last year from Easter time. This is also from Dollar Tree, obviously. I did go ahead and give this another super whitewashy kind of look with white chalk paint. Now, this vinyl was something that I had originally printed for this project. I was originally going to put the vinyl word home down, but it looks a completely different color on camera than it really is. So it was supposed to be like a really pretty country blue, almost kind of like the agave color. That is not what it is, guys. I don't know what color this is supposed to be, but I did not dig it. So I decided, instead of wasting the vinyl and needing to either recut more vinyl or using stencils, I turned this vinyl into a stencil. So I just like opposite weaved it, which you could see I accidentally weaved the O properly, so I had to fix it. Now I went ahead and laid it out where I wanted the letters to go, and then I just went ahead and attached my little box to the sign just so that I would not put my letters down too far. So then I just removed the transfer tape after it transferred down, and then I just used that really pretty homemade blue. I am loving. I'm calling it Kenzie's Country Blue. I'm going to patent it. Anyways, I mixed it together, I just went ahead and used that on the stencils. As you can see, the O is a little bit off. I'm not quite sure why he's like that, but any which way I turned it, it looked that way. So it's okay. So I went back and filled in kind of, like where that blue had went off the stencil a little bit. That's the only trouble with using a smaller stencil and a larger brush, because that's what happens. Now, I decided to distress over the words a little bit more to kind of blend my boo-boo spots in. As you can see, I went a little heavy in the beginning with the white chalk paint over the lettering, but no big deal. I just went in with my little finger sander, went very lightly over top the blue letters, and that white just disappeared. So it worked out perfect. Then I went ahead and just sanded all over the entire sign. I am using my finger sander, and I've gotten so many questions about this recently, and I try to answer all your comments, but sometimes I just don't get there quite as fast as I want to. I got it from Amazon, but I am pretty sure you can also find it at Walmart, probably for cheaper. But I will link this particular one down below as long as it's still there. Then I just filled this with some floral foam that I cut, as you can see, added some hot glue because I am going to glue down some of that reindeer moss. Again, then you can just pop the entire floral foam out or just change your picks. I got this greenery from Walmart. It's some eucalyptus, and then the little white flowers are from the Dollar Tree, something I had left over from last year. Then I took some nautical rope, just took it through that little hole, tied a tight knot at the top. Look at those muscles. Anyways, then I took some of this really pretty blue ribbon from Hobby Lobby that I used earlier and just attached it to the top, and I love it. So pretty, you guys. Oh, I am just loving this blue, and I love the sage green. So some of the DIYs I made for like my kitchen dining room area, and some of the DIYs will go like in my living room area, which I usually do in like greens and yellows and even a little bit of like a lavender purple for spring. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. Let me know which one's your favorite today. I can't choose. Oh goodness. Okay. I'm really biased, and for obvious reasons. So I'll stop tooting my own horn, but I really, really love these. Anyways, you guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Put a little Kenzie in your day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.